Hello and welcome back to the 8-bit creature feature Cartridge Crypt, where we resurrect the cartridges that once ruled the living room and shaped gaming history for generations to come. We're back on the couch, the day is done, I've got my beverage right here as usual, and we're getting ready to take a look at another all-timer from the 8-bit era. On this episode, we dust off the purple cape and dive headfirst into Gotham City's 8-bit underworld. This isn't just another licensed cash-in. It's a shadow-soaked platformer packed with wall jumps, pulse-pounding chiptunes, and enough pixel grit to make you feel like you're chasing the Joker through a neon-lit nightscape. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? If you have, it's time to suit up, grab your controller, and fire up the Batmobile as we take a look at Batman on the NES. In June 1989, one of the year's most anticipated films hit theaters across the United States. Tim Burton's Batman. A landmark in superhero cinema, it fused gothic noir style with blockbuster spectacle, instantly becoming a cultural phenomenon. Merchandising followed swiftly, including a notable entry into gaming. In February 1990, Sunsoft released Batman the video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Loosely adapting the film's storyline, the NES title sent players through 5 side-scrolling stages across Gotham City, culminating in a climactic showdown with the Joker in the Cathedral Bell Tower. Praised for its tight controls, moody visuals, and unforgettable soundtrack, the game captured Burton's dark vision while pushing the NES hardware to its limits, securing its place as one of the era's most memorable licensed titles. The core of Batman is the tight side-scrolling action. Every step carries weight, and every punch lands with bone-crunching impact. Yet the true standout is the wall jump. Demanding rhythm and precision, it transforms into one of the most gratifying mechanics once mastered. This might be a controversial take, but in my opinion, the wall jump in Batman is far better than Ninja Gaiden, a series that is celebrated for the use of the same mechanic. Combat is sharp, with a mix of fists and gadget-based projectiles, though ammo scarcity keeps you on edge. Each encounter becomes a careful dance of patience and precision, testing your resolve as much as your reflexes. One of the hallmarks of this game is its steep difficulty curve. Enemies attack with relentless aggression, platforming segments demand razor-sharp precision, and boss encounters hinge on memorizing intricate attack patterns. Though this intensity can overwhelm casual players, it ultimately enhances the game's longevity and sense of triumph. Conquering the Joker after enduring the game's punishing gauntlet feels genuinely hard-earned and solidifies this title's legacy as one of the NES era's toughest yet fair challenges. The game's levels span a variety of locales, from Gotham's shadowy sewers to unsettling laboratories and towering Gothic cathedrals. Every level drips with atmosphere, echoing the brooding tone of Burton's film. For the NES, the visuals are impressively detailed with sprites and backgrounds that vividly recapture Gotham's bleak aesthetic. Paired with the iconic soundtrack, the experience transcends the console's limitations, delivering a moody cinematic immersion that feels much larger than any 8-bit gaming system could ever offer. Gotham City Streets unfolds as a neon-soaked industrial gauntlet, where Batman first descends into Gotham's gritty underbelly, navigating Sunsoft's signature purple and blue techno grime while learning the game's core mechanics, from wall jumping and tight platforming to managing ranged weapons. Thugs, flamethrower foes, and small drones crowd the streets, pushing you to balance precision and aggression as you advance. The stage culminates in a boss encounter designed to test your timing and counterplay, establishing the game's rhythm and serving as the deceptively calm prelude to the escalating brutality that follows. We leave the streets and enter the Access Chemical Factory, a toxic industrial labyrinth of vats, conveyor belts, vertical shafts, and shifting platforms, evoking the birthplace of the Joker himself. Acid pits and sliding machinery tighten the margin for error. Enemies with erratic patterns force mastery of Batman's 3 weapons, and increasingly narrow wall jump gauntlets turn traversal into a rhythmic trial, all culminating in a confrontation with the Machine Intelligence Core, a stationary yet multi-phase mechanical boss whose escalating projectile patterns can catch the player off guard if they aren't prepared. The game also boldly diverges from the film's storyline. Though Batman remains driven to thwart the Joker, he also squares off against a wider rogues gallery that is absent from the movie. This creative license gave Sunsoft room to enrich the gameplay with fresh challenges while preserving the essence of Batman's war against Gotham's criminals. The result is an experience that ties into the film, yet confidently stands apart as its own unique adventure. After leaving Gotham's neon rooftops and industrial sprawl behind, Batman descends into the underground conduit, a claustrophobic maze of dripping pipes, shadow-choked tunnels, and mechanical hazards where steel gray walls and toxic green waste create the sense of Gotham's corruption pumping beneath the streets. Sewer mutants strike from the darkness with brutal precision, turning every jump and attack into a test of timing, while narrow ledges and vertical climbs make wall jumps essential as the environment becomes a puzzle of reflexes. The stage ultimately builds toward a tense showdown with Electrocutioner, whose erratic movement and crackling electrical attacks keep you on your toes. To be honest, I've never really developed an intricate strategy. I usually just try to get to him with a full bar of health, get as close as possible, and just start throwing punches until he's beat. The game's soundtrack stands out as one of its defining strengths. Every stage is paired with a distinctive, unforgettable track, while the boss themes ratchet up the tension with dramatic flair. The sound effects, though straightforward, are sharp and impactful, with each punch and each gadget strike landing with a satisfying weight. For countless fans, the music itself is reason enough to return, and I firmly believe that this is hands down one of the best soundtracks in the entire NES library. The laboratory ruins plunge Batman into a half-collapsed research complex buried beneath Gotham, where dying machinery, cracked circuitry, and shattered containment tanks create the sense of a facility stubbornly clinging to life. Mutated test subjects, rogue drones, and electrical hazards lash out in erratic patterns, turning every corridor into a gauntlet that demands quick adaptation and precise movement. Vertical shafts lined with unstable platforms and sparking panels make Batman's wall jump essential. The deeper you descend, the more the environment seems to unravel, all building toward a chaotic showdown with the dual container alarm, a boss encounter that tests your spacing and timing into one last mechanical gauntlet. Back to the soundtrack for a moment, Laboratory Ruins, hands down, easily my favorite track in the entire game. The cathedral serves as a gothic climax, unfolding inside Gotham's towering cathedral as you climb narrow platforms and stone walls toward an inevitable confrontation with the Joker. Its vertical design heightens both danger and anticipation, packing tight corridors with enemies and punishing platforming that demands absolute precision, all leading to a brutal two-part finale where the fast, flame-hurling firebug tests your reflexes before the chaotic bell tower showdown with the Joker himself, whose erratic attacks and cramped arena turn the fight into a tense battle of endurance. The entire ascent carries heavy narrative weight, symbolizing Batman's struggle against overwhelming darkness, and the final duel feels carved into the very architecture of Gotham, making the cathedral a fittingly atmospheric and unforgiving endgame where patience, skill, and resolve are pushed to their limits. Batman on the NES delivers a fast, energetic take on the Dark Knight's world, blending tight platforming and combat mechanics in a way that still feels impressive to this day. Its moody, neon-soaked environments channel the atmosphere of Tim Burton's 1989 film, while also carving out a distinct identity through sharp sprite work and a pulsing, unforgettable soundtrack. Every stage pushes forward with a sense of momentum, giving players the thrill of stalking through Gotham's underbelly with precision and purpose. The game is widely regarded as one of the console's more challenging action platformers. This is mostly due to its precise platforming, relentless enemies, and especially punishing late-game sections. Many retro fans have pointed out that the overall difficulty feels fair, but the final stage has earned a notorious reputation for its unforgiving jumps and the strict timing needed for the wall jump mechanic. Even so, the inclusion of unlimited continues keeps the experience from becoming overwhelming and ultimately makes the game conquerable for players who are willing to commit to the steep learning curve. At the end of the day, Batman on the NES is nothing short of a landmark in 8-bit action. A rare licensed game that doesn't merely echo its film inspiration, but surpasses it with tight controls and moody atmosphere. Every stage is a moody, industrial fever dream rendered in bold purples and blues. It's the kind of game that proves how much artistry and ambition could be squeezed out of the NES hardware. Decades later, Batman on the NES still stands as a masterclass in atmosphere, challenge, and pure, unfiltered game design at its best. And that's going to wrap up this episode of the 8-bit creature feature Cartridge Crypt. As always, please like and subscribe, and definitely feel free to leave a comment down below. What do you think of Batman on the NES, and what are your memories with the game? Have you ever beaten the Joker before? Do you prefer this version, or do you maybe like the 16-bit version that appeared on the Sega Genesis, also developed by Sunsoft? So comment down below. I always love to hear your thoughts and your stories. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.